So can you use ChatGPT to actually pass your PMP exam? This is a question that I got intrigued about because I recently saw ChatGPT and I saw how useful it was for answering very straightforward questions and sometimes some very difficult ones as well. If you haven't heard about ChatGPT before, it's a language model for dialogue, or you can call it like a conversational bot, and basically you can ask questions to it and it will give you a response appropriately. And a little bit about me, I have just completed my PMP exam in the middle of this year, so I do have an idea of what sort of questions were asked in that exam. So I'll be kind of looking to compare what I saw in the exam with what I see in this ChatGPT bot. So I've clicked try ChatGPT. So here I've clicked try ChatGPT. So here, what I've done is I'm going to click try ChatGPT, and it will come up with a sort of conversational area where we can ask ChatGPT some questions. So what I'm going to do is the first question is ask, what is PMP? So it's identified PMP as a certification for project management offered by PMI. It's given some details about the requirements. It's also telling us that I guess we can get better salaries and whatnot if we have this type of thing, and there's more career advancement, and there's other certifications as well. So it's kind of given us a little bit of a summary, and what I heard is that every time you ask the same question, it will actually give a varied response. So one of the things you could try is actually asking the same question again, or using this regenerate response if you're not happy with the response that it is given. So the next thing I'm going to do is I was thinking is, can you give me a PMP exam question? Because it would be great if this bot could give us some questions that we can actually practice. So you are a project manager for a construction project. The project is currently in the execution phase and you have received a change request from the client. The change request involves adding a new feature to the building that was not included in the original scope of the project. The client is willing to pay an additional fee for this feature. You have determined that the change will have a positive impact on the project and have obtained approval from the sponsor to proceed with the change. According to the PMP exam content outline, which of the following processes have you just completed? Define scope, control scope, validate scope, close project or phase. Cool, and then it's given us an answer and it's given us what looks like a bit of an explanation. So I think this is kind of similar to the exam questions, but I think from my experience what I found was the PMP exam questions were a bit more situational. So I will ask, I think this question is heavily knowledge based, so can you give me a more situational PMP exam question? Probably not the right way to phrase it, but hey, let's say something in the wrong way, a little bit wrong way, so that we can see if it picks up. Cool, so it's telling us about some team member who's received an offer, has expressed interest in the new job opportunity and asked for your recommendation. Wow, and then it's giving us some pretty difficult responses from what I can see here. These are actual actions that you would have to deal with in a project management environment. It's giving us the correct answer, and it's also giving us a reason why. So I think this is quite good. If this is the type of responses we're getting from this from ChatGPT, this is quite similar to what we'll get in the PMP exam, and we can definitely use this to prepare for that exam. So one of the things that we might do is that we might find that looking at this question, we're trying to figure out, is this something like that? If it's a weak spot, for example, if it's something that we're not good at, where could we actually go to get more information on this question? So I know that we have a lot of stuff from the PMBOK, so the project management body of knowledge. So what I'm going to ask is if I can get more details about it from the project management body of knowledge. So where can I find out about this question in PMBOK? And again, I'm going to use the short form to see if it picks up. Oh wow, so it's picked up that it is the project management body of knowledge. And I've actually spelled about wrong, but yep. Okay, so because I phrased the question a little slightly wrong, it's given me a response about PMBOK, but I suspect that if I say with regards to the question you gave me, which topic does this relate to in PMBOK? Let's see if it gives us an answer for that. Okay, so it's remembered the exam question, and it's gone and told us that we'll find more information in human resource management. So that's quite cool. We kind of have a place to go where we can find out more information if we didn't understand about it enough. Well, I think the only thing else that I was going to show you that might be beneficial to you is, suppose that you've done all these exam questions, or you've tried to answer a lot and you kind of feel ready for the exam, but you want some further tips. Let's see if ChatGPT can give us some further tips to pass this exam. And here we're looking for specific tips that are related to PMP, not general. So what are other tips that you can give me to prepare for the PMP exam? Okay, understand the exam content and format. Get hands-on experience. So it's telling us that it's a very practical exam. Use the study materials, sure. Stay current. So it's telling us that the PMP exam is updated regularly. Take practice exams. So this is quite important, I believe. It's definitely more relevant to the PMP exam, I think. And then review and practice. So review the material regularly and practice applying the concepts and techniques you are learning. So I think these are quite useful tips, and I suspect that if you were to ask a few more questions on these different points, you would actually get further details. So we could ask something along the lines of, what do you mean by understand the exam content and format? And I suspect that it will give us some further details on it. So having seen these responses that you see here, I feel that definitely the ChatGPT bot is something that you can use with your other resources and materials to actually pass the PMP exam. So I hope you found that useful. That's my 2 cents for the day, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next video.